Hi there, and welcome to the latest episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast with myself, Dave Sheahan, high performance consultant and dedicated now for over 25 years to educating, motivating, and I truly do hope inspiring you to be the best you that you can be and lead the best life you have, because you have a life vision, you have a life that you want to lead. Are you living it? Are you taking the steps to live it? Because again, that's part of what this podcast is all about, to hopefully inspire you to do that, as well as myself and guests giving you tips and strategies on how to do it and sharing life experiences, because we all can learn off each other. We all have experiences to share. You do, I do, everyone does. It's a case of evolving every single day. That's why I stress to you is that every single day you should be evolving to the best version of yourself. Are you doing this? If you're not, then start. On this particular episode of the podcast, I'm going to speak to you about how your self-esteem and your self-image basically is going to determine the level of success and happiness and fulfillment you have in your life. Your life needs to be built on your self-esteem and your self-image. It will be built on that. So whether you have an amazing life that is truly memorable, or whether you have a life that's completely filled with regrets and one that you held back and you didn't become your best self, you didn't live life fully, it's all come down to your self-esteem and your self-image. They are so important. And this is a real crux of what the My Body Health Podcast is all about, and what my in general work is about, in teaching people how to have positive self-esteem, how to have a good self-image, why that is so important in its impact on your life. When you think about it, how you feel about you has a huge impact on everything. Think about how you feel about yourself right now. Do you love yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you tolerate yourself? Do you possibly even dislike yourself? Where are you right now? Now, if you look at your life, typically your life will reflect that. Are you happy in your relationships? Do you have happy, loving relationships? Are you happy in your professional life? Are you achieving all you want there? Whether it be in a job, whether it be in a business, whether it be a purpose or a mission. Are you achieving all you want there? Is it fulfilling you? Do you feel that you have had success there? How about your health? Are you experiencing good health? Do you make good health decisions? How about your body? Do you like your body shape? Do you regularly work on it? Do you make sure that your body's in the shape it should be? How's your mind work? How's your thought process work? Are you generally a very positive person? Do people be uplifted from being around you? Do you think positively? Do you have an optimistic outlook or pessimistic outlook? Even down to things like your sleep. How's your sleep? Your sleep, again, will be affected by everything. You might think, how the hell does self-esteem, self-image have an impact on all these things? It does, because it impacts literally everything in your life. How you feel about you determines everything else, and everything else will be built on it. That's why I'm saying your life needs to be built on a positive self-esteem and positive self-image. So how do you build this up? How do you improve in it? Well, there's many things you can do. This is the great thing about it. You control the way your self-esteem and your self-image is. You control it. You can improve it. You can make it so much better. But you have to take action. And if you're not taking action, then nothing can happen. Same as everything in life. So your self-image will come down again to self-love. What is self-love? Self-love especially and primarily is accepting who you are, embracing who you are. Like, do you truly love you for who you are? Or do you try to conform and fit in with what the general population thinks you should look like, or be like, or act like, or dress like, or what job you should have, what kind of house you should have, what kind of family, if you have a family, what type of relationship status, all these different things. You conform to all of that, or are you uniquely you? Because we need to start embracing who we are. You are your own person. Now, if someone has poor self-esteem, to typically conform. If someone has better self-esteem, to typically do what they want to do, and they are them. They're authentic to themselves. This is what's so important. You need to be authentic to yourself. So are you living authentically? Because if you're not, there's always going to be a void. You're always going to feel like, a lack of happiness, a lack of success, a lack of fulfillment. You have to be true to yourself. You need to get to a stage where you honestly do not care what other people think. Not caring what other people think, truly not caring what other people think, and not letting it determine your decisions and your actions and, your behaviors, is truly a superpower. It literally is a superpower to you. So I can't stress enough to you how important it is to get to a stage where you have positive self-image and positive self-esteem, because it will impact everything else. Think about it. Think about it like a superpower. It's in essence what it is. So I want you to get to that stage. A lot of that will come down to how you're viewing your life and how you view your performing in life and how you're feeling day to day. And this is where, again, we can control these things. You can control how your life is going, what you're doing in your life. You can control how you're feeling. There's so many factors that affect each, and I'll go through many of them during this particular episode of the podcast. but you have to want it. You have to want to change. Have to want better. You have to want to, be happy, to be successful, to feel fulfilled. Now, everyone wants, but you truly want it? You really want it? Because you have to be willing to put in the work, and you have to be willing to do it on a daily basis, because this isn't something you just press a switch or buy a program and suddenly it's there. This is something that's a daily process. You evolve into the best version of yourself. You evolve into a person who has self-esteem and does love themselves. You have to take the steps. You have to do it step by step by step, gradually get to where you need to get to. That's what's key all the time. So how you take care of yourself is a huge part of this. But again, it's so important for you to embrace who you are, to know who you are, to be truly unique as who you are, and to embrace that and be happy with it. You are a unique individual. There's no one else like you. No one. There's only one of each of us. We may sometimes share similar traits, but at the same time, there is only one of us all the time. So you need to, again, embrace that and not shy away from who you are, not shy away from your unique personality traits, your own little quirkiness. Everyone's got a bit of quirkiness. There's nothing wrong with that. This is where, again, you need to all the time embrace who you are and work on creating a life where that shines through. Let your life show who you are. Let everyone see who you are. And if people don't like it, who cares? This, again, is where you have to get to a stage where you love yourself enough where you do not care what other people think. You do what is right for you. You do what's authentically right for you. You have values that you live by. Beliefs that you live by. Our values are so important to us because our values determine who we are and define who we are, or should do. And if we're not true to them, then we're being disloyal to ourselves. And you don't want to be disloyal to yourself of all people. So it's important for you, again, to work a life, create a life that will reflect your values, reflect your beliefs, reflect the real you, whoever that may be. And only you truly know who that is. So make sure, again, you're living that life. Make sure you're taking steps towards it. Self-esteem and positive self-image comes so much down to how we feel and how we look. Again, that's the society, that's the world we live in. We do pay a lot of attention to how we look and how we feel as a result of that. And how we feel will be a lot to do with how our mind works, how our body looks, how our health is. All these things impact what way our energy is, what way our brain works. What you feed your brain is huge, and what way you work on your thought process, what you tell yourself, the scripts you tell yourself. We all have scripts running in our head, and our scripts are determined by environmental factors, where you grew up, what you grew up around, what you saw, what people said to you, what people expected of you, the way they vocalized about you, what they thought of you, what you experience. All these things form a lot of who you are, but the things that aren't serving you need to work to counteract them, and create your own scripts. There's a lot of scripts in people's heads that they need to rip up and need to write new ones. So, what kind of scripts have you run in your head that don't serve you? Like scripts like, I'm not good enough. I'll never achieve that. I'm not lucky. That isn't for me. That isn't something I can do. Why would any of these things be real? I'm ugly. Like so many different things to do with our self-esteem, our self-image, how we look, how we behave, what's possible for us. The reality is that, when you're born, everything's possible. You can achieve whatever you want in life. You just have to take the action to get there. But if you run these kind of scripts in your head, then, you're going to find it very hard to achieve anything. Because if you're constantly telling yourself that you can't do something, or constantly telling yourself that, for instance, you're ugly or you're fat or whatever it might be, all these different types of scripts, then that's who you'll become. Thoughts become things. So what you put out is what you're going to get back. This is why it's so important for you to get focused on what you truly want, and again, to work on yourself then to get to a point where your self-esteem, self-image are at a powerful enough point where they're true to you and they'll also serve your life. This is what's so important all the time in your life. So, work on your thought process. Work on thought process. You're going to get negative thoughts. Every single day, we all have thousands of negative thoughts. Every single one of us. We also have thousands of positive thoughts. But which are you listening to? And which ones are you listening to? Now, if you're in a wrong frame of mind, and again, you're in a negative frame of mind, and you don't have good self-esteem, you're going to listen mainly to the negative ones. So negativity is going to define your life. It's going to rule your life. You're going to think negative thoughts instantly. You're going to expect the worst outcomes always. You're going to worry about the worst possible outcomes. You're never going to expect much of yourself. You're never going to push yourself. You're going to make excuses. You're going to play the blame game. You're going to play the poor me game. self-pity, pity parties, all this kind of stuff. Whereas when you've got good self-esteem, instead, you take personal responsibility for all. And that's kind of where it starts with everything. You need to start taking personal responsibility for all areas of your life. You need to start realizing that, that's the reality. You are the one who's responsible for all areas of your life and all that happens in them, because you play a part in all these things. There's so much that you control in your life that you have to take personal responsibility for. But even all the things you don't control, and even other people and stuff like that, and factors in the world, you can still control how you react to them. And this is where we all have control over every aspect of our life, every single aspect, everything that happens. We play a role in it, good or bad. But we have to be honest enough with ourselves to face up to that fact. Too often we're not. So, start by taking personal responsibility for all. Look at each area of your life, decide, where am I happy, where am I not happy, and what do we need to change? And take responsibility to actually go and make it happen, to make the change. Because when you're living a life that's not very fulfilling, that you don't identify or see much success in, or you don't experience a lot of happiness, obviously your self-esteem isn't going to be very good. And that's going to define your life. You're going to stay stuck in that hole. You're going to stay stuck in that mediocre existence that doesn't fulfill you in any way whatsoever. But when you start to shift that, and you start to shift your thought process, and you start to shift your action taken to taking proper action and prioritizing being productive and working towards your life vision, that's empowering. That gives you a boost. That makes you feel much better. When you get every little success, it leads to another success. It increases your belief that you can be much more. You can be who you truly want to be. And this is what's key always. This is why I stress you, there's nothing more important than working on your self-love. Get to a point where you truly love yourself. Because when you love yourself, it's unlimited what you can achieve in life. It's completely unlimited. So, work on this all the time. As I said, part of it is working on your thought process. When you get a negative thought, hit it with a positive thought. When you're beating yourself up, give it a reflection on some of the things that you've done that are really positive that day, in the past, whenever. You need to fight this tennis match that's going on in your head. You need to fight back. You need to fight the bad guys, fight the demons in your head that are constantly trying to put you down and make you feel bad. That's one of the first steps, is how you react to the thoughts, how you fight back to the thoughts, to make sure, again, you are fighting back. Because if you don't, then only negativity is going to consume your mind. Negativity consumes your mind, then negativity is going to consume your life and be evident in your life, and you will not experience what you possibly could experience in life. This is a big difference between people who achieve things in life and those who don't. Ones who do, lead life with positivity, lead it with expectation of what they can do. They love themselves, they work on themselves every single day. People who don't achieve anything play the poor me, do the excuse mode, play the blame mode, don't work on themselves, are in a bad state mentally and physically, typically, and stay where they are, never advance, never improve. So this is why I'm saying, a good life, a happy life is built on self-esteem. Because when you have good self-esteem, it just gives you that boost. It empowers you. It makes you feel like doing things, makes you want to do things, makes you want more, because you feel that you can have more. This is why it's so powerful. This is why it's so beneficial. So, work on your thought process. Feed your mind what it needs. For you, if you're consuming negativity all the time via information that you put into your brain or via people that you listen to, then how do you expect to be positive? How do you expect to feel good? We don't like negativity, but we're surrounded by negativity. It's everywhere. Most people are negative. Most people live negative lives in terms of the energy they're giving off. You don't have to. This is the great thing about life. You don't have to do the same as anyone. You don't have to conform to other people's ideas and beliefs and lifestyles. You can create your own, but you have to, again, take the action to make sure that you do. So be careful of what you consume. Consume stuff in terms of audio, visual, written word. Make sure you're consuming stuff that is positive, that gives you a boost, that makes you feel much better, because that's what you need to do. How do you expect your thought process to be positive if you're flooding your mind with negativity? Whereas on the contrary, if you're consuming predominantly positive material and positive energy and information or sound that uplifts you, then of course you're going to storm forward and do a lot more. You're going to feel better within yourself. And you're going to feel huge satisfaction that you're doing that then, especially if it's a habit that you're changing. And your self-esteem, again, will be built on where you're prioritizing you. This is the reason that most people don't have good self-esteem. They're not prioritizing themselves. They're leaving themselves literally on the shelf. not focus on themselves, not making themselves better each and every day like you can. So make sure, again, you're doing that. Make sure you're very conscious of what you're consuming into your mind, because it will determine everything about your thought process. So eliminate negativity, or at the minimum, limit your exposure to it, because depending on your circumstances, especially family-wise, you might have to be exposed to some degree, but at least limit how much exposure you have, or eliminate where you can. Negativity serves no purpose in your life. Negativity will not help you in life. You need to live a life that's based and powered by positivity, and that positivity being powered by the fact that you love yourself. Self-love is everything. I can't stress that enough to you. Self-love is everything. So, work on your thought process. Work on getting to the body shape you want to get into. We all care how we think, or how we look, sorry. That's just ingrained into us from society. And plus, we just should be taking personal pride in how we look anyway. So, if you're not happy how you look, do something to make yourself how you look, how you want to look. Take the steps towards it. Eat better, exercise more, take better care of yourself. If you prioritize your health and well-being on a daily basis, the results will be evident for all to see. You have to concentrate on a daily basis. Again, it's like I said with the mind, evolve into the best version of yourself every single day. And poor self-esteem and poor self-image is a lot of the time is based on how a person's body looks and how they feel as a result of it. When you don't take care of your body and don't take care of your health, you won't feel good. You're going to feel pretty crap. You're going to feel poor energy. You're going to feel lethargic. You're going to be sick a lot more often. You won't be able to do things that you'd like to be able to do. All these things take you down in terms of your self-esteem. You won't feel good about yourself if you're not feeling good, and if you feel you don't look good. And every time you look at a photo, or every time you look in a mirror, all those things are hammering down your self-esteem. Whereas just imagine if you look in the mirror and you like what you see, you look at a photo and you like what you see, what's that going to do to your self-image? It's going to make you feel much better naturally. So, how we look has a huge impact on how we feel about ourselves. To make sure that you're taking the steps to improve your body shape to where you want it to be. And that's the important thing. You need to do you need to work towards what you want, not what society tells you that you should look like. Forget magazines, forget TV, forget infomercials. What do you yourself want to look like? How do you want to look? All parts of your body. What body do you want to be living in? It is your home at the end of the day. So you design it, and then you take the action to make it happen. So be very clear on that, and be very clear that you are the person who determines if it's a reality or not by the actions that you take. So don't be making excuses. Don't be hiding behind the blame game. Just get on with it and make it happen, because you can make it happen. But self-image, self-esteem is so important, or so built on how you look. That's just how it is. That's just how the world works. If you have better health, you're going to experience better energy. You have better energy, you feel more like doing stuff. You feel more like doing stuff, you feel more motivated. You feel more motivated, you achieve more success. You achieve more success, you feel better within yourself because of that success. So do you see that how everything is basically like a domino effect? You need to make sure that you're ticking lots of boxes that then in turn end up ticking other boxes, and it builds up and up and up. So, when you prioritize these kind of areas of your life, everything improves. But most importantly, you improve within. You start feeling better within. You start to love yourself more. You start to feel so much better within yourself and liking yourself more. When you like yourself more, you're going to drive on more. It's just basic common sense. So, just why I've stressed to you that you need to focus on your self-image and working on it and building it up all the time and improving it all the time. And these are all factors that you can control. You can make these things happen. You just have to go out there and make it happen. Just take an action on it. This is where don't make excuses. Don't hide behind them. Just get out there and make it happen. You live once, live fully, live in fear of regret. These are things I repeatedly say every single day across social media. Live in fear of regret. Why live a life that doesn't fulfill you when you can change that? You just have to take action, consistent action, and you will change your life forever. So make sure, again, you're moving more. Make sure you're making better choices. Like, again, the food you eat, it feeds your brain, for instance. So if you don't feed your brain the right kind of food, then how do you expect to feel good? You won't feel good. So it's important, again, what you feed your body and in turn your brain. Everything runs off the food that you're consuming as well as the liquid you're consuming. So a lot of water and a lot of good food. And that'll feed your brain, that'll impact then your mood, your mindset, your psychology, your focus, your concentration, your memory, and again, your feeling of self-worth and how you feel about yourself. So make sure, again, you're tackling these kind of things. You know, we need to start more and more shifting away from seeing exercise, nutrition, all these areas as like for weight loss. And it's like the focus is on weight loss. No, the most important thing is how it will make you feel. We need to focus on that part versus the weight loss. Let whatever happens, happens. But we're looking basically to improve our happiness, improve our self-worth, improve our self-esteem, improve our self-image, create a positive self-image. That's what we're doing it for. That needs to be what the focus is. And as that's increasing, that's a gauge of that what you're doing is working. Because once you're doing the right things, you should feel better in yourself, which in turn makes your self-image and self-esteem much better. And it grows and grows from there. So make sure, again, you're prioritizing that. Okay. So remember what your mind is consuming, what your body is being put through in terms of exercising regularly, what your body and your brain is consuming in terms of nutrition and liquids. These things are so important. It's very important for you to have some kind of purpose in life. When you have a purpose in life, you feel better about yourself too. So what's your purpose? You know, what is it that you want to achieve in your life? What do you feel you're here for? You know, it's like with me, every morning I wake up, I feel I've got a purpose because I feel my purpose is to hopefully have a positive impact on others, which I do through working with people, groups and individuals, online or offline, by running like this podcast, by putting out videos every day, by putting out social media every single day, by all the content I've created in the last, 13, 14 years online. So there's so much stuff out there, books I've written. Like all these things are there to help people. Again, I feel I have a purpose. I have something I should be doing every single day that is bigger than just me. It's not just for me. It will have a positive impact on other people, I hope. So, I have a purpose. So again, is a good thing for your self-esteem. It makes you feel better about yourself. So, what is your purpose? What is your mission in life? Whatever that may be. There's nothing it has to be. It's just what it is. So what is that for you? And make sure, again, you're getting very clear on that. Because it's important you're very clear on it. Because if you're not clear on it, again, it's very hard for you to, lead a happy life and lead a life that, fulfills you and brings you happiness. We all deserve happiness. We all deserve success. We all deserve to feel fulfilled. But we have to grab the bull by the horns. We have to make it happen for us. No one else is going to do it for us. It's like if you currently are listening to this, you've got poor self-esteem, you need to drag yourself out of that. You're the one who needs to change it. You're the one who needs to take action and move towards having better self-esteem. So these are all little things that you need to do. Moving away from negativity is huge, because when negativity consumes our mind, then there's only one way we're going to think and act. Taking control of our mind, body, and health, and making sure that you're doing things that improve your mind, body, and health. Super important. Think about it whenever you've exercised in the past. When you exercise, you feel better afterwards. Like that's inevitable. You can't stop that. You're going to feel better no matter what. So, how to get to the stage of feeling better within yourself. Get the body shape where you want, exercise regularly, eat the right foods, meditate, stretch out to release tension in your body. Because again, tension will make you feel bad too. All these different things. Get comfortable with you. Get comfortable with how you look in the mirror. Get comfortable with how you look in photos. This again is the end game. This is the objective. This is what you're trying to do. To get very clear on how you're going to do that and take the necessary action to do so as well. Read a lot of stuff that reaffirms what you want. Take time to be clear on your goals. Write them out every single week, every month, every quarter, every year. Write out gratitudes and wins. Little things like that will improve your self-esteem as well, because sometimes in this fast-paced world that we live in, we can feel that we're not getting anywhere, that we're not improving, that our lives aren't moving forward fast. So what we need to do instead is we need to identify our wins in the day. And you will always have wins every single day. There is no day you won't have wins, but sometimes it feels like you haven't had any. So what we need to do is at the end of the day, just take a couple of minutes to reflect on the day, think back through it, even go through it in your head and identify what were a couple of wins for you on that particular day. Because I can guarantee you 100% every day you've got wins. Some will be tiny, some will be big, but it's all relative as well. What matters is that there are wins and there are things that are moving you forward towards what you want out of life or where you want to be in life. That's what actually matters, you know? So, you know, no wins, no gratitudes. Gratitude's a powerful strategy as well. Again, powerful for, again, how you feel about yourself. So be grateful. What are you grateful for? So, you know, there's so many different things that you can do to boost your self-esteem. Like I said at the very start, you know, your life, a successful and happy life, must be built on self-esteem. Because if you don't have positive self-esteem, you're not going to build a happy life. It just will not happen. You know, your personal self-esteem determines all. When you feel good in yourself, when you really love yourself, when you feel empowered by you in terms of who you are, it's unlimited where you can go. And you believe it's unlimited. You know, you feel excited every day about where you're going and what you can do. So this is why I'm stressing to you so much that to work on your self-esteem, work on your self-image, which again is built on what you listen to, what you feel in your mind, your whole thought process and how you manage it, how you look, what you eat, whether you exercise or not, how much you move your body, mindfulness, how you control your life, decisions you're making, all the different areas of your life will be impacted as a result of it, in terms of your financial decisions, your professional life decisions, all these different things, your relationships. You know, if you're in a better place within you and feel better within yourself, you're going to be nicer and funner to be around. Hence your relationships will get even better. Does that make sense? So, you know, build your life on positive self-esteem. It is the most important thing. People focus on so many different types of goals in their life and what they want and so on, and these big elaborate goals financially or professionally and so on. But if you don't have good self-esteem, it's going to be very hard to achieve those things. So build everything on positive self-esteem, build everything on where you need to be in life and loving yourself for who you are. You know, embrace the true you. You know who you are. Stop hiding away from it. Stop being shy of it. Stop being embarrassed by who you really are, because love yourself. And you are a unique person. We all are unique people. And if you don't love you, how do you think you're going to love anyone else? It's just not possible. So even in terms of relationships and in enriching your relationships, you need to love you first. So work on loving you, work on how you can love yourself better. You know, I've gone through many different ways you can do that, actionable steps, none of it earth-shattering or mind-blowing. It's all stuff that's possible, but what will only make it possible is action. There is nothing else. So make sure, again, you're taking action towards becoming the best version of you, becoming a situation where you have better self-esteem. Okay. So I hope this particular episode of the podcast has helped you. I hope it's given you a few little bits of food for thought. I hope it's given you a few little actionable steps that you'll put into practice soon. Just keep remembering, your life needs to be built on positive self-esteem. And your life will be built on whatever level of self-esteem that you have. If that's poor, your life will be poor. If that's really, you know, self-love is being evident, then your life is going to be amazing. It has such an impact. So build your life on positive self-esteem, work on it every single day. You have control over it. So make sure, again, you seize control, maintain control, and, you know, put into action the control that you have and make it be where it should be. So hope that makes sense. Once again, your life is built on your self-esteem. Think about that. So hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. If you feel it would help anyone, please share it out there. Most people have self-esteem issues to some degree. So, you know, please share it out there with many people, because I'm sure it will help them. Leave a rating and review on any of the podcast platforms you see it on, or, you know, leave a like and a comment on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe. Remember, I'm here to help in any way I possibly can. You know, every day I'm dedicated to putting out whatever content I can that I hope will help you feel better in yourself, that will help you to take action towards creating your life vision and making it a reality, and towards you becoming the best version of yourself that you can be. That's what I'm here for. I'm only ever a message away if I can be of help in any way. So take care, have a good one, make sure you share this out there. And remember, your life is going to be built on your self-esteem. So make sure your self-esteem is good.